I do a lot of crazy things on a weekly basis. This year I'm running a marathon in all 50 states. Last year I biked in cities across the United States on a penny farthing bicycle. Look it up if you don't know what it is. And the event culminated with me breaking both of my arms. The year before that, I drove to every major college in the United States, 100 colleges over the course of 100 days. The year before that, I did a road trip to all 50 states in 50 days. I ate Chipotle in every single state with two buddies of mine from high school. I do a lot of crazy things. I ran an Ironman without training. I slept in the streets of New York City in November wearing shorts in a tent with someone who I had never met before, waiting for a YouTuber to host an event the next morning. The list goes on, but I think one of the craziest things I've ever done happened this weekend when I, a week ago today, had to make a commitment when I had no money to decide that I'm going to switch from what I do with woodworking to making money by washing windows in order to pay for the marathon this weekend, last minute, so that I can stay on track and run a marathon in all 50 states in 2024. Because it's worth so much more. The story is worth so much more if I'm able to pull it off in 1 year instead of over several years. So what did I do this weekend? I bought an $800 plane ticket with all of my money to Montana. I flew out to Montana, Missoula, Montana, middle of nowhere, and bought my race ticket to race a marathon for Montana to stay on track for the 50 States Marathon Challenge. But because I ran out of money, when I got there were no hotels. The whole city was booked. Airbnbs booked. There was one Airbnb left and I might have been able to book, but they were asleep. They didn't respond to my listing when I reached out. The cars, I've slept in 12 cars. Over half of the marathons that I've run so far, something like that, this year have been, after sleeping in a car the night before. But the cars were so expensive. They were $200 to $250 for one night. I didn't have the money for that. So I took a $25 Lyft up to the start line and slept in a porta potty and in the grass outside of the start line for 4 hours. I was between being awake and asleep, constantly, waking up with the fear that someone was gonna rob me in the middle of the night. It started raining on me. It was cold outside. There were all these little things. Like, by itself, it was just absurd. This is why I think this is the most insane story that I have one of. It's up there. So I get up to the start line. It's 11 p.m. and I'm like so unfamiliar with the situation. I got a marathon tomorrow morning. I gotta wake up at 4 to 5 a.m. because I don't want people to walk in and see me asleep on the concrete. That's when the race shuttle buses started getting to the start line. It's around 5 a.m. It's 11 p.m. and I can't fall asleep outside because it's way too cold. I'm laying down in the grass. Go over to the concrete. I'm like, it's gonna be warmer there because it's been sunny all day. Still a little bit cold because it's windy. Starts raining on me, so I go inside the porta potty, sit down on the porta potty for an hour and a half, just on my phone trying to, waste time. No sleep, even though I've got a marathon in like 4 hours, literally. And sitting on the toilet with the seat covered down for hour and a half. My legs were just numb, so I had to stand up and I was exhausted at that point. So I tried going back outside, but it was too cold and rainy. So then I stayed in the porta potty, standing up, banging my head against the wall because I'd fall asleep while standing up in this porta potty, and wake up to my head hitting the thing, right? That happened all night. Finally, around 3 a.m., I went outside and just shivered, but at least I was able to sit down and fall asleep in the cold. Woke up to the shuttle bus dropping people off at like 4:30, and as if nothing had happened. No one knew. Didn't really tell anyone. Started the race at 6 a.m., finished at 9:28, ran a 3 hour and 28 minute marathon, which is a very fast time. Rather fast, I should say, not crazy, but my personal record is the 3:21 right now. My average time is like 3:40. So for 2 hours of sleep, broken sleep, that time was really good, sleeping outside. I'm telling you all these details to get to this. I don't care. I don't give a flying F. I would say the word, but it's on YouTube. I don't want to, get bad, whatchamacallit. I don't care. There's no care in the world anymore. It's just like, what has to get done? The only thing that needs to get done for the 50 States Marathon Challenge is running a marathon in every state. If I sleep outside, if I make people annoyed, if whatever it is, I don't care. They're going to forget. They're going to go back to their mundane life, and I'm going to keep living my life, and that's that. I've lost every care in the world, and so now it's like, I'm fully committed. What other things actually work? I'm only going to do those things. I've learned from the craziest thing that I've ever done this weekend, that when you stop caring is when you start succeeding massively, because you can do the spreadsheet, you can do the equation, X plus Y equals Z, and repeat and do that 1,000 times. And so I posted that video from this past weekend, even though I haven't posted half of the videos from the marathons this year, and it's at 30,000 views, 2,000 likes. That's a very high ratio for Instagram. I gained 200 followers in the past 12 hours since I posted it this morning. And it's very encouraging to see that, like, okay, I stopped caring and I started doing, and it's paying off. So stop making excuses. It's going to take you 4 years of nonstop trying the exact same thing, banging your head against the wall, doing the most absurd things ever, sleeping outside, whatever it takes. Just do it. Like, just figure out a way to go out there and just not stop. Because I know after what I've done this weekend that I will be the best. Like, I have what it takes, and I'm doing things that no one else would even consider. I wouldn't even fathom that this is an option on the table, to sleep in a porta potty the night before a marathon to save money so that I could be able to buy the plane ticket the following weekend to keep the challenge alive. No one's thinking that. If you're on that level, if you want to be the greatest, that's the level, It's a matter of time until I'm up there. The numbers are there. I've stopped caring. I now know the equation. I shall rinse and repeat with all the footage that I have of all the marathons that I've done this year. So hopefully that's an encouraging note for you, just to know if I'm succeeding in the future, or when, that this is what it took. That's what it looks like to work hard. Oh, that's what it looks like to be dedicated. Oh, I see. Okay. So me spending $50 last weekend to try this new idea, that's not really dedication. That's just that's child play, Dedication, that's spending $1,000 on a video that might get 0 views, that it's the last dollar in my pocket. It's switching industries to be able to pay for marathons. It's sleeping outside in a porta potty. It's pushing myself mentally, physically, with no gain whatsoever. Oh, that's what dedication looks like. And I'm proud. I'm going to say this. I'm going to brag about it, because I want to do more of that. I want to, I'm dedicated. So now it's how do I become dedicated with results? How do I actually be dedicated in a smart way? So if you're there and you're I know what I want to do, and I know I could be great, it's are you really dedicated? Have you shown yourself that you have what it takes? And then now, do you know what it's going to take to get to where you want to go? If you're dedicated and you don't care anymore, and you know what it's going to take, then it's just a matter of time. And so increase your output, or your input, on the things that matter most. Nothing else. And it's just a matter of time until it works out. And this will be an experiment. So I've just told you that I'm dedicated. Now I'm going to go follow through on that promise over the next 3 months and flip this challenge around. 50 States Marathon Challenge will be on everyone's mind, everyone's For You page. I show up to a race and people are like, yo, it's Wyatt Moss. Yo, it's 50 States guy. I've had that like 5 to 10 times so far this year, which is incredible. What if 10 people per race said that? That'd be awesome. Not that I'm looking for that. I don't care. I'll do this. I've done 23 marathons this year without caring about how many views I get. You know, that's enough proof for everyone to know, like, I don't give two. But it shows that the work that I'm putting in is actually yielding results. That's what I care about. Oh, these are the signs of success. It's not that I got 10,000 views, but it's like it actually translated into real world value. Oh, you see what I mean? It's all these realizations of like, I didn't know what that looked like, but I put my head down and I just kept going for 4 years with no end in sight. And now I know what it looks like. So now that I know what it looks like, it's like, okay, well, I can rinse and repeat. I can start doing more of that. I know when I'm succeeding. So I know if my work that I'm putting forward is actually doing something. I know when I'm in the green and when I'm in the red and how to flip it over and all these different things. Like, oh, that's it. Get out there. Run club tomorrow morning. See you there.